Okay, this year I was able to have my 7th and 8th grade chorus to participate in the Carnegie Center, and they were able to come. I had Miss Elisa, and she came along with Mr. Greg, and they were able to lead a workshop called The Underdog, where every student was able to participate through a workshop, through creating and writing.
Creatively, like how did it involve your students or engage them?
Students had to brainstorm. They were in small groups. They were able to work together. Actually, their groups were a little bit larger, 10 to 12. And they started from the beginning process of brainstorming what an underdog is, what he or she would have to overcome. Then they created the script, and they worked through the whole beginning, and they were able to workshop that and do the beginning with some instruction from Miss Elisa.
How does it help you in like teaching and experience?
One of the excellent things that the students got to experience was they had to work together. One of the things that she made very clear to the students was every student's voice mattered. So whether they were a scribe or they were giving ideas, every person's input was important and it made a difference, and they had to work together. So that's a real world life skill that they'll have to take with them and know that they have to work with other people even if they disagree.
Okay. Just a little background, like tell me what was the Carnegie class?
The Carnegie class was a workshop, and they have many different workshops. We did a 4-day workshop, and they have different titles and different kinds of opportunities. This one was for the Underdog series, where we just simply talked about how middle schoolers can sometimes be an underdog, especially in the middle school years, and what that looks like. They got to create their own character, they got to create the plot, the conflict, and then how would that work? How did the underdog become the champion at the end?
Okay. Does it help? Does it help? What does it help? How does it help students in their musical path or creative path?
Yeah, it definitely helps students with their creative thinking, because not only do they have to work together, but they have to be creative. They have to come up. Some of the ideas were very bizarre, and what I liked about the Carnegie people, Miss Elisa, she didn't take any topic and say that it was off limits. She would make it work. She would also point out what the obstacles might be if they chose a certain kind of character, but they had to be creative in solving how could this underdog overcome the obstacle. They also had to listen to each other. They gave feedback. They were sometimes afraid to critique each other's work, but we learned that through the critiquing, it made it better. The overall outcome made it better, so with feedback.
How helpful is it for you to have the Carnegie into your curriculum?
I love the Carnegie because they reinforce what I'm trying to teach throughout the year, but especially in the drama department. They are so good with getting students, especially students who may not feel comfortable being in front of other students. They give them their voice. They allow them to see that they can have confidence and that what they try to do, there's nothing that's off limits. You can just go for it, be creative, and I love that they help build that confidence in my students. Even though I try to do that on a daily basis, they just come alongside and reinforce. Great creative ideas what they have. So.
How did your students respond?
So well. I remember saying to Miss Elisa, I'm so sorry that they keep shouting out. And she said, no, I love that they're so passionate. I love that they're so excited. So they loved their time with Miss Elisa. I remember we didn't get through all of the groups because of our time. Our time ran short. But the students really wanted to perform for her, to get feedback from her, and I think to also have her approval as well.
How you as a teacher, how did it affect you?
In a great way. I learned a lot myself. I love the arts. I love the theater part of being a choir teacher, but it also gave me great ideas. It also allowed me to see that there really isn't a bad idea, to go with it, to explore it, to try it, and if it fails, go from there and try again. So.
Does it make your class more interesting, having the Carnegie involved?
Definitely more interesting. They bring a passion and an excitement that, although I'm passionate about what I do, they have such a fun-loving way of introducing the arts to the students, and it keeps them engaged, it keeps them excited, and it invigorates me as well. Is that good?
Is there do you want to add anything?
Would you recommend it to another teacher?
Oh,
in other areas, art areas.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend them. They work around your schedule. They're flexible. We had such large groups that they made it work. I like that they are encouraging to the students. They get the most they can out of even the students who probably wouldn't want to be up in front of the class. They help build confidence in those students, and they really provide great feedback. So I would highly recommend the Carnegie to drama teachers, choir teachers, any performing arts teachers to kind of give that extra boost to the students. Okay.
That's great.
My favorite part about the Carnegie visit was that we got to create a skit, and our skit was about a Christmas elf who hated Christmas and he wanted to be the Easter Bunny. And so he ran away from the Christmas elves, and they brought him back and said he could make Easter eggs all the time he wanted if he stayed in the North Pole.
When working with your group, what was the biggest?
And you want to look at Mrs. Clark.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That's okay. It's okay.
Okay, sorry.
I didn't tell her that, but yeah,
Okay,
it's
so I
fine.
know I was looking all over the place too. Sorry.
That's fine. It's fine.
Okay. When you were working with your group, what tools did the Carnegie Center help you with to help you in a group setting?
They got very engaged, and everyone had a voice and everyone spoke out, and they let everyone share their ideas. We had a circle, and you went around and you said what you thought about the elf. And
What was the most fun part of their visit that you hadn't probably experienced before in a drama setting?
we got to go up in front of the class and do a workshop, and so we performed, and everyone would raise their hand and say what they thought about the performance and what could be better and what we did well.
What was something that you learned or maybe saw in a different way that you hadn't thought of before from their visit with us?
They really got the whole class engaged in the workshop, and everyone was interactive and had a part.
All right.
Well, a couple more.
Go ahead.
It always helps, to just get an idea. And you want to look at Mrs. Clark, even if I'm asking questions. Is it a fun way to learn?
It's a very fun way to learn because you get to be creative and interactive.
Tell me, how did it make you creative?
Since we got to write our own scripts, we had our own ideas that we got to put in, and everyone shared an idea, and it was really fun seeing how everyone contributed to the script and made it a whole.
Did you learn anything about yourself going through the process?
I learned to work better with.
You can start. You
did great.
You're on the right path. Did you learn anything about yourself?
I learned to interact with my group and that every voice matters.
And did you learn anything about your colleagues, your classmates?
I learned. Sorry, I'm
That's okay, that's
blanking.
okay.
You're doing great. Or what were you surprised to find about your classmates and their performances that you worked with in your group?
I learned that everyone really cared and wanted to go in front of the class, even though some of them didn't say so. It looked like they had fun up there. And
Were any of the things embarrassing or make you uncomfortable?
it was sort of kind of scary to get in front of the class, but they made it really comfortable, saying everything to help you not be so nervous when you're in front of the class.
I really enjoyed the fact that they let every voice get heard and that we could just think of something and put it down on paper as an idea that could evolve into something bigger in the class.
What was the most difficult part in writing the script with the group?
I just found it kind of hard to contribute everyone's ideas, but after having some agreements, we changed some ideas around to fit everything in.
Okay. Which part of their visit was most fun for you? Was it the warm-up games that we did? Was it watching them perform?
I really enjoyed when our group got to perform because I enjoyed taking on the role of a different character other than myself.
What did you think about the feedback they gave you? Did it make you uncomfortable, nervous, excited?
The feedback they gave me, I think, really helped us to develop our story the correct way because their feedback wasn't as much picky as it was, hey, you just need to change a few slight things to make it amazing. It's already at a good level, but you need to make it amazing, so you got to change these small things.
Is it a fun way to learn?
I really enjoyed it. I think it was a fun way to learn because it's different than normal class, but it still gets the message they're trying to teach across, and it lets every student get in the lesson, whether other people's lessons will only volunteers will get their voice heard.
What message do you think they're trying to convey to you?
I think the message they were trying to convey is that, like, my voice matters, because they would let everyone just blurt out things, say what they thought would be the correct way or their opinion about things and not be criticized for it.
Has it influenced your life any?
It really influenced me because after coming off of those lessons, I felt like my voice really mattered, and not just chorus class and the Carnegie class. I felt like my voice mattered in real life to everyone.
Were there some embarrassing moments?
I didn't really get that embarrassed because our script was comedic, so I really enjoyed going up there and making the class laugh. And
Okay. Is there anything you want to add?
no, it was fun.
Good stuff.